We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
Should we do a strong open or a weak open? What do you think?
What's the difference?
Well, a weak open would be like, hi.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a strong open would be more like, hi. So what do you think?
Strong.
Strong. Do you want to do
it? Hi.
Oh, God, that was strong.
That was good, wasn't it?
That was really strong.
Too strong. Too strong.
A little bit too... Dial it back a bit. Try again.
Hi?
Nah, that was...
Too little.
That was bordering on weak, I would say.
Yeah.
It's actually quite difficult, isn't it?
You give it a go.
Okay. How about hi?
I mean, that's sort of a parody, isn't it? Or...
Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, that's like Gordon Gekko levels of abrasiveness.
Yeah. It's very difficult.
Listeners, if you know how to say hi... Get in touch, let us know.
In a strong, not too strong way.
Not too strong. That's the key.
But hey, you may have realised that there's a familiar voice in the background.
Hello.
Hey. My good friend Eamonn is out of comedy prison.
Thank God for that.
Whew.
Yay, I'm back.
How was it, man?
Well, it's funny, isn't it? You think it's going to be all custard pie fights, but it's mainly like shower stabbings and...
Oh, wow. Good. Were you involved in any of that, or did you keep a low profile?
Oh, no, I kept low profile. I mean, there's one very funny thing happened when Amy Schumer fell down 4 flights of steps and everyone was in absolute bits. I had a good laugh at that.
That does sound funny.
It's the funniest thing she's ever done.
Was she all right? Or
no.
It was like one of her legs bent up.
Yeah, that's right. She was sort of just like a heap. She made a noise like that grape stamping lady.
Oh, I can't breathe. Oh.
Exactly like that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That does sound funny.
It was funny. And I shared a cell with Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh, right. Oh, that's interesting because... we might get a little bit of correspondence later that tells something different, but we'll
really?
see.
Or maybe I moved around.
Oh, right, okay.
Does that help with continuity?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah, excellent. Good, okay. Well, I'm glad you made it out. Good, well, today we're going to be talking about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which is directed by McHugh, as everyone calls him now, apparently, and obviously stars Tom. So... Eamonn, you've been away for a bit, but did you have a mailbag in comedy prison? Did you still get correspondence? I sent you a lot of letters. You didn't write back, but it's okay. I don't mind. That's all right.
In comedy prison, they don't want to feed the egos of the people inside there, so they take all the fan mail and they burn it up in a big pile in the prison yard.
Oh.
But one thing I was allowed, one of my luxuries, I was allowed access to the podcast, so I did listen.
Yeah.
So that really helped keep me going. And I've actually written a little, just rated them. Rated all the episodes that were made in my absence. So the first one you did was with Alex Robson.
Yes.
So here's my notes.
Okay.
Insightful and mischievous. I loved the Arnie song, as well as Alex's rendition of that rap.
Oh, yeah.
It was a real series highlight. Alex on top form as usual. The made wordplay was top draw. Score, 4 out of 10.
Oh, that seems fair.
So the next one was you, Nancy and Big Ben.
Yeah.
Great chemistry here. I really enjoyed the chat, and what a treat it was to hear from the Extreme Horror Replay podcast. I loved the discussion of a horror film and lots of torture, and it didn't make me feel sick. I thought Nancy's British accent was spot on, and it was a very strong episode indeed. Score, 3 out of 10. Okay. Next one was you by yourself.
So I did do that.
Really challenged yourself, but you more than met that challenge with a fine all-round episode with some great scripted bits. I especially like the callback with Greg Tompkins pretending to be Chris Hemsworth, and the Al Pacino impression was, as always, pitch perfect. Score 1 out of 10. Okay, all right, final one. All right, so the last one was you and Raph.
Yes, it was.
Another great pairing. Here, there was genuinely thoughtful chat about the film and the state of the film industry generally. I loved that Raph didn't pull any punches and was able to back up his somewhat controversial opinions with some really robust arguments and well thought out examples. Contender for one of the best episodes of the series. Score 0 out of 10.
I mean, obviously you're entitled to your opinion, but it almost feels like your compliments don't quite fit with your rating system. I don't know if you noticed that.
I think they chimed together pretty well.
Okay, yeah.
Great episodes, and I think 4, 3, 2 out of 10. I think really solid scores.
Yeah, good. Well, no, I'll take that.
Really well done, you and the guest hosts. Really.
Thank you. I forgot how prolific I'd been in your absence.
Yeah,
but yes, it was worth it.
Yeah, I think that's an average of about 2 out of 10. So
that is, yeah. And you did smuggle a little phone in just to listen to the podcast, didn't you?
That's right, yeah.
How'd you get it in?
You know where.
Good. Well, funnily enough, I've actually had a letter from someone who was in comedy prison with you. So it goes like this. Dear Watching Films on the Toilet, I was delighted to hear that Eamonn was returning to the show. Hasn't been the same without his edgy humour. But I was also very sad to see him leave comedy prison, having spent the last few months getting to know him. We shared a cell together, and I'm pleased to say he was a very considerate house guest. He was quick to make his bed in the morning, didn't snore too loudly, and let me finish his cigarettes a few times. He also tried to do his worst toilet business when I was out of the cell or asleep. If he was ever caught short, he would flush throughout the session and even covered his mouth to stifle the groans. A true gentleman. I'm sure you'll agree. I was concerned initially that Eamonn would become friendly with the wrong people. All the gangs were vying for his attention because he was a far more intimidating presence than most of the other comedians, particularly the more slight, intellectual ones. Andrew Lawrence and his racist friends promised to make him their grand wizard, but then Justin Lee Collins and his band of wrong-uns offered him enough Tesco club card points to pay for 3 tickets to Legoland. They almost had him, but then Miranda Hart said she would buy him a car. All she wanted was someone to talk to, but in the end he decided to become a lone wolf. We often talked about the car it might have been, though. We also talked about our wives and children and how we missed them terribly. Sometimes Eamonn would hear me crying at the top bunk and he'd invite me down to his bed for a cuddle. Didn't go any further than that, but I must admit I wouldn't have said no if he tried to make a move. It's just not the same without Eamonn here. But I've only got a few weeks left, so hopefully we can all meet up and get completely slaughtered when I get out. Yours sincerely, Jack Whitehall's dad, Michael Whitehall. So there we go. So a letter from someone who spent a lot of time in comedy prison with you, Jack Whitehall's dad. How'd you get on with him?
It was very, very nice elderly man. I think the fact he knew that I could chin him any moment really helped. I found.
Was he your bitch? Is that
I didn't like using those terms.
No, degrading, aren't they?
People would say, "Oh, is he your bitch?" And I'd be like, "I don't appreciate that term. He is an elderly gentleman who I could clearly chin. So
yeah,
let's just leave it at that."
Yeah. So he was.
Well, I didn't have to chin him.
So he was. Good. Excellent. Okay. Well, again, I'm glad you're out, and you can leave all that behind you now. Maybe they might come after you again. Are you on parole? Is that how this works? That's
right, yeah. I have to have a hit rate of over 60% or I'm back in.
Any lists and you're back? You're straight back where you came from.
That's it, yeah. They gave me strict instructions, yeah.
I'm looking forward to saying this, Eamonn. Do we have any toilet news?
Yeah, we do.
Hey.
I have to send you a link to something. I can't really describe this, so it's best that you just view it with your own eyes. Okay. Where did I put it?
Oh God.
It's not safe for work, but it's just.
Okay. So Eamonn has sent me a YouTube link. Skibbity toilet.
Yeah, that's the one.
Chainsaw skibbity toilet.
So just watch.
So there's animated singing head in a toilet. Oh, and they've gone into a lift. Okay, which has urinals with the animated heads in them. There's a green wig head in the middle of the animated toilet. Oh my god. Now there's a giant toilet. So he's singing Skibbity Bomb Bomb.
What Ben is describing is a YouTube craze called Skibbity Toilet. Millions of people are tuning in to watch an epic war between a race of evil toilets who have taken over the world and the TV-headed revolutionaries who are fighting back. Earning millions of viewers since its launch this February, Skibbity Toilet is frenetic, unpredictable, funny, and at times genuinely unsettling.
Yes, I'd agree with that last part.
In each episode, one side gains the upper hand before losing it to it in the next. Powerful commentary on the cylindrical, brutally repetitive nature of war. It's just something you have to watch, isn't it? It's absolutely mental.
There's a spider-legged toilet. It is completely mad.
But it's not uncommon for one of these videos to have 48 million views. I watched this for about half an hour earlier. We get really sucked in because it's just so insane.
Genuinely disturbing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, I could see some AI model seeing that and then creating these things to take over the world.
Well, that's where we're going, isn't it? Everything's going to be done by AI. I would be curious to see, because that's what the nature of all these strikes going on at the moment, isn't it? They're striking against studios using AI to write scripts.
Yes.
Have you tried asking ChatGPT to write something?
No, I haven't really got it to write Mike Foster got it to write a summary of our podcast, isn't it? Have you tried?
I have, yeah. Do you remember when we did Hellraiser?
Yeah.
My forfeit was I had to read a haunted book.
Yes.
And I was really struggling. I was really, really hard. So in an act of desperation, I asked ChatGPT to write a funny sketch about a haunted book. And it was, it was rubbish. I honestly think comedy is such a nebulous thing. I just cannot believe a computer will ever be smart enough to understand comedy. Bearing in mind, most of the people I know don't understand comedy. If you ask the average person to make up a joke, they can't.
I guess the AI would just be Russell Howard, basically.
Or imagine this everyday situation, but it's dogs doing it instead of people.
And it's and obviously there's Josh talking as well. So Josh could be an AI. In fact, maybe he is AI.
That's I'm logging in now to ChatGPT.
Write a joke by Josh Widdicombe.
Well, I'll say write a joke in the style of Josh Widdicombe, because otherwise.
All right. Write a joke in the style of Josh Widdicombe. I tried using ChatGPT to write jokes and I stopped because they were funnier than mine.
It had me in absolute bits.
But that's not okay. I'd be out of a job.
This is why did the mathematician refuse to go to the party? Because he couldn't function properly without a +1. I think that's just like a generic joke.
Yeah, that is quite generic. We want a Josh.
Write a joke that sounds like something Josh Widdicombe would tell. Oh, okay. You know when you're at the grocery store and you go on those really long shopping lists? Well, I figured out the secret to a stress-free shopping experience. Just tear up your list into tiny pieces and scatter them all over the store. Then spend the next hour trying to find them all and complete your shopping. It's like a fun-filled treasure hunt with frustration as the grand prize. That is pretty close.
That's weird.
Oh, ChatGPT, you're freaking me out.
It's awful, and it's
spot on.
Spot on.
That is
God, that's creepy.
Man. Let's see what else he can do. Let's try Paddy McGuinness.
Try Paddy.
You know when you're at a restaurant and the waiter asks if you want a side of fries and you're like, nah, I'm good. Then they bring one out to the next table. Sorry, then they bring out the next... Hang on, they got it wrong. Then they bring out the table next to you in a mountain of golden crispy goodness, and suddenly you're like, I'll have what they're having. It's like the fries are playing a game of hide and seek, and they're winning because they always find a way into your stomach. Oh my God, okay, so yeah. ChatGPT can do bad comedians. That's what it is. It can do bad Josh comedians. And Paddy. Oh, amazing.
Wow. Well, look. We've delved into AI, which is very appropriate because it forms a large part of the plot of the movie that we're going to discuss today.
It does indeed.
Should we do it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've made my Ribena way too strong. It's way too strong.
Oh, you got a punch.
You know, it's because I'm all like demob happy after coming out of prison. So I've basically been drinking squash that's half and half. That's like an absolute loon.
You have gone off it.
I can't, hooked on the hard stuff in the slammer.
Your parole officer is going to be concerned. Yeah, I've talked about Prime Drink on this podcast before. So there's also Prime Energy Drink, which my son wanted to try, but it's for over 25-year-olds.
Over 25?
So and I thought, what's going on? And I read that the FDA are investigating it because apparently it contains 6 times the amount of caffeine as a can of Coke has in one of their energy drinks. So you just reminded me of that. You should crack on that as well.
Do you know what? My son had been going on, he's only 7, by the way. He'd been going on and on about trying Prime. So I was just like, okay, we'll have a look. Didn't assume there'd be none there, but they had all this Prime. So I was like, okay, fine. Well, I bought a couple of different cans. And luckily, the lady on the checkout was just like, by the way, those are the energy ones. And I was like, oh, really? And she was like, yeah, they're strong. So my son is quite single-minded. So basically I had to tell him, the drinks we've been talking about all day that we've just bought, you can't have them. You're not allowed. Yeah. So I basically had to give them they're allowed a spoonful, a medicine spoon of them just to try. Yeah. Basically, and then I had to throw them down the sink.
You chugged it down though, yeah?
I shotgunned it in front of them.
Yeah.
So that's yours. Now watch this.
And you were up for 6 days.
Yeah.
So, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. How'd you see it?
I watched it illegally. I watched it at home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cam, yeah?
So I could watch it on the toilet.
Oh, perfect.
I'd rather break the law and do things properly.
That's it's a stunt, isn't it? That's essentially a stunt.
It's the kind of thing Tom Cruise wish he had the balls to do.
He wouldn't do that though, would he?
He'll murder any child you like. But when it comes to watching a film illegally, suddenly he grows some morals.
Dun, dun. No, not doing it. Not doing it.
Is he watching Johnny Briggs?
Yeah. They should have played that as he went off the cliff.
Little known fact about Tom Cruise: he loves Johnny Briggs.
Loves Johnny Briggs. Off he goes.
He owns the intellectual property rights.
The Benny Hill music would have fitted in well, wouldn't it? As well.
Yeah. So they coincide the revving of the bike engine, and as it's whining to its peak, it goes, and then Johnny Briggs theme tune.
That would have been really good. Maybe in the next one.
Imagine suggesting that in the edit. You know, you're really revving this bike up, Tom. That would be really sweet.
I like that the editor has become comfortable enough with Tom to throw things out there and then ruined it. Completely ruined it.
Like it's one big break and he never worked. He would again.
Oh, you're right, Tom. Yeah, you have a good night. Yeah, no, I was just watching the cut from yesterday, and I had a thought.
I was having a little play with it.
Just take a look. No, I will go. Sorry, mate. I will go. Anyway, well, I obviously watched this in the cinema because I'm not a piece of shit like you. Took the kids. They wanted to see it.
I mean, how many more ways can you go against the grain of what this show is about?
I know. I did go to the toilet before and after.
You're supposed to watch it on the toilet because you can't watch it with your kids. You're taking them, going to the cinema with your children. This is so wrong.
Eamonn, you weren't here for 2 months, so look, I can do what I want. You got a leg to stand on.
This place has gone to ruin since I've been away.
I know it has. We'll get back to how it was. All right, we'll get back to how it was. But what did you drink for me to try and sum this film up in the time it takes you to do a long wee?
Load of Prime Energy drink.
Prime.
One of each flavour. My favourite of which was the lemon and lime.
Yeah.
And by that I mean it was the least bad.
How long did it... Well, first of all, how long did you stay awake for after drinking 3 cans of Prime Energy drink?
2 days.
2 days. And how long did you done a wee for?
Well, I did lots of short wees, but the cumulative total is a minute 26.
I think I can do it.
I did 86 wees. Each was 1 second long.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun.
Yeah, it was the Johnny Briggs theme tune. I'm so glad that you remember Johnny Briggs.
The summer wee, should I choose to accept it? Maybe I don't.
Oh.
Maybe I don't.
Okay, yeah,
but
don't.
I will.
Okay.
Spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, just stop listening. Just turn off the podcast. Come back when you've seen it. Because we
heard all the best stuff anyway. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
So... Ethan Hunt's latest mission, should he choose to accept it, is to retrieve a key from his old pal Ilsa in the desert, which will help the US government take control of a rogue AI called the Entity. Instead of handing it over, Ethan decides to destroy the Entity with the help of his old teammates and a new one called Grace, a thief who he meets in an airport, where he also spots Gabriel, a nasty chap from his past who is in cahoots with the Entity. There's a car chase in Rome, lots of running in Venice, Ilsa dies in a sword fight, everyone's sad, and then Ethan has to parachute onto a moving train to get the key back, while Grace wears one of those masks that lets her relax in her trailer while another actor plays her for a bit. And against all the odds, they manage to survive and walk away with the key and work out how to stop the Entity in the next movie. So, to be continued.
Poor.
There you go.
Blimey. 49 seconds.
Oh!
Absolutely smashed it.
Ethan hunted the heck out of that, didn't I?
Well, no, he would have finished just with like a fraction of a second left.
He would have slipped and then he would have got back on.
You were like a competent spy. You just did it by the book.
I'm more like the Entity, aren't I? The ultimate covert operative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Can we start with the end?
Okay.
Because I thought it was absolutely stunning.
Which bit? All of it?
Well, all of it, really. Bike jump. Mm-hmm. He actually did that, as we know, 6 times whilst he fell down.
Yes, that was almost, for me, the most impressive bit. It's where you can sort of see his face going, and he was just like, yeah, I'm on my way down.
I mean, he's talked about like the car chase as well. He's driving, acting, and directing. So sort of watching Hayley Atwell's performance to see if she's got what they want as well. Anyway, I thought the train carriage part.
Yeah,
that was my most favourite.
Same.
Kept going, and every carriage brought new challenges.
It's really inventive.
Did you love it?
I did. Yeah, I only really liked. There's up until a bit where Ving Rhames has a really good little moment where he's saying you can't kill that guy. The Entity wants you to kill it, but you're not allowed to. And everything from there on, I thought was great.
Yeah.
But everything before that, I felt a bit about.
The whole 2 hours before that.
Pretty much. I don't think it was bad. Obviously, it's well made. I'm just trying to think of the action set pieces.
There was the Rome chase. I thought that was pretty great. Similar to what had been done before.
Exactly. I think that's what you need to do now, is do something really distinctive. I know everyone always talks about the French Connection car chase. The reason it's so memorable is because it's pretty much in a straight line.
Yes.
And he's chasing a train.
Yeah.
And it's just him trying not to kill people, which they almost did in real life because William Friedkin is insane.
Yeah.
But that's why it looks so good. And what are the other good car chases? Like Bullet is really distinctive because it was done in San Francisco, which has got all these really interesting roads.
Yeah. The Raid 2 has a fantastic car chase which is incredibly violent.
So what made that car chase stand out then? What made that distinctive?
The Ray 2, they contained a lot of the action within the cars. So rather than having big wide shots of moving cars, you were in the cars and you felt what was going on inside the cars a lot of the time.
So that's what made that distinctive. Well, maybe what was distinctive about this one was like the hand swapping round because they were being handcuffed. But because obviously I know it's not real, I wasn't watching that going, I can't believe they've done that.
Yeah.
Like, that's astonishing. He's doing that with his hands in the wrong place. Like, it just didn't, it still wasn't that impressive. I thought the best bit about it was Klementieff and how much she was enjoying it in a really crazy way.
She was pretty beastly, wasn't she?
But yeah, so it wasn't bad. It just wasn't like, it didn't really stand out.
I like the slapstick elements. I thought they were good fun. The problem I had with this movie is I think it was too many characters that didn't get enough attention. So Pom's character, I didn't really buy her turning against Gabriel at the end.
No.
Because I didn't know enough about her to become invested in that betrayal.
Yeah.
Also, Ilsa, I really like Rebecca Ferguson and I like the character she played. But because we didn't get to see a lot of her in this movie, I don't think her death had the impact that it should have done.
Didn't do an awful lot for me, I have to say.
Which was a shame. And they did discuss how women are kind of disposable around Ethan.
That's quite a good bit of self-awareness, but...
Yeah, but it doesn't really... They didn't take that any further. It just was the case.
I have to say, I hate Rebecca Ferguson because the first film I watched with her in was The Greatest Showman, which I was forced to watch at my in-laws. And
Right.
I obviously hate musicals, and it's like the most in-your-face musical like you can possibly imagine.
I wouldn't have watched it. I've never seen it. I would not have watched that film. I know that much.
Yeah.
Nothing could get me to, even being polite, which I always feel compelled to do. No way.
It's like a parody of a musical. Like it's just so bad. So because she was in it and because she gave such a full body performance in that film, I can only assume that she is.
Okay, wow. Okay, good. Well, we might have to agree to disagree on that one.
Can we not argue it out? Let's get some consensus on that.
Well, I have enjoyed her in the Mission Impossible films. I've also liked her in Doctor Sleep, which was the Shining sequel. I think she's terrific. So you were glad to see her die?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I cheered.
Yeah. I mean, they talk a lot, McHugh and Tom, about how they come up with the set pieces and structure the plot around that. And I did feel this time that was quite obvious. I thought in Fallout, actually, that was a more satisfying film.
Is that the previous instalment?
Yeah, that's the Cavill one.
I think I watched that with you and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, with a more satisfying villain. In this one, it's Gabriel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Esai Morales, who was very sinister, but a little one note.
Precisely, and also I kind of felt like it's a bit of a cheat code going, here's this guy from way back who did something really horrible to me. How has that never come up in any of the other films?
Well, they didn't need it until now.
Yeah, but exactly. It's just very convenient.
It is, and they promised that this film would really delve into Ethan's past, and it didn't.
No, not at all.
We didn't really learn much more about his character. And I was hoping that maybe Ethan would have caused this in some way.
Yes.
Like it turns out kind of he's the bad guy. That would have been interesting. Or we learnt that, maybe that was a result of the one mission that he didn't choose because they went on, they talked about choices a lot.
Yeah.
But we didn't get any of that.
No, it was just very similar, the same. I mean, it is sort of becoming this. I was reading that Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise were saying, "Oh no, this is like not the end. It's like we fully intend to do way more in this franchise."
Yeah.
So it's sort of becoming like James Bond. The stakes can never be that high because they need to come back and retool for the next one.
This is true.
That's why the last James Bond film, I think, was the first one I've sort of liked for ages and ages because he died. I was just like, oh, good. Oh, actually, something somewhat unexpected has happened. Rather than he saves the world again and everything's fine, and he finishes the movie looking directly into camera whilst a bird.
I did watch Casino Royale actually recently, and I was really impressed by Mads Mikkelsen and his bleeding eye villain. That villain was desperate, and he had people after him, and he had a real reason to want to win that poker match. And he was also quite vulnerable, and that was great. Whereas this villain, he's the devil. Like, what's his deal? What's his deal?
Always one step ahead. Do you know also is brilliant about Casino Royale and Mads Mikkelsen?
We know. It's the scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
The rope.
And he gets that big rope, ties a knot in a big thing of rope, hits Daniel Craig in the balls.
You want to tell me where it is, Mr. Bond? Bang!
No, I'm not going to tell you. Well, then I'm going to swing this big knot into your ball sack. You're not going to like it.
Sorry, Mads plays a South African...
He plays a South African ball bag mauling gangster.
I'm going to bash your bull bag.
Oh, I hope you've got a tough ball bag, son, because he's about to take an absolute shellacking.
He did call him son a lot. He did.
Yeah. He does that thing, Dumb and Dumber, where he speed bags someone's nutsack. Mads Mikkelsen does that in Casino Royale.
He does do that.
Going to speed
With
bag
a rope.
your nuts. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt your balls.
Muds.
It's going to make you very anxious, but more than anything, it's going to hurt your balls. That was his catchphrase.
That was his catchphrase. He
nervous.
said it so much, didn't he? It didn't make sense at first why he was saying
Bond,
that
James Bond,
in the
hello.
casino. And
You're going to be very anxious, but more than anything, you're going to have a lot of pain in your balls. What you're talking about, you'll find out later.
if you were going to construct a Mission Impossible film, what would they started, so Tom wanted to drive a bike off a cliff and McHugh wanted to crash a train. And that was the beginning of this movie where it came from. So can we come up with 2 set pieces and maybe try and build around that? What would you like to see in a Mission Impossible?
Oh, I tell you what I'd love to see is someone's ball sack getting smashed in with a rope.
But we've seen that in the Bond. Could it be with something different?
Something else. They'd be in a hot air balloon.
Okay.
He wouldn't have very much leeway to swing. It'd be rubbish because he couldn't swing his rope very far. It'd be limited by the size of the basket. Is that what it's called? The thing that they stand in?
Yeah, hot air balloon basket.
Is it a basket?
Yeah, it's a basket, yeah.
Yeah.
Or a basket, as they call it.
I can't swing this rope very far. So you're in luck. This is the problem, isn't it? Like everything now, and this is I think Raph said this, and it's the only thing Raph has ever said, which I agree with.
Yeah,
which is like everything is conceivable now in CGI, so it's not that impressive.
that's true.
So like that's why Nolan films still stand out because it's all kind of sort of practical.
Is it though? He uses loads of effects. He just
I
doesn't
know he does,
say
but he does it in the most. But I still say like the split is very much in favour of practical.
Yeah.
Effects.
Yeah, it looks
like,
real. I'll give it that.
I don't know. Like I would like a nunchuck fight at a chess match.
Okay.
It's like everyone's really quiet.
I mean, John Wick had nunchucks. Also, like Silent Library with nunchucks.
So we're like,
Yeah. Shh. That would be good. So, like, they get whacked.
Yeah.
It's like, shh.
shh,
Oh.
quiet. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That is good. I'd watch that.
What would yours
I'd like
be?
to see him get picked up by an eagle.
Like the goats that you're obsessed with. The
Yeah. Like the goat that got picked up by an eagle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to see Ethan Hunt get picked up by an eagle.
But is he like encouraging is he like goading the eagle into picking him up as part of his plan?
Well, yeah, he'd ride it like that speed wing that he gets at the end. I don't know. I'm not sure if he'd control the eagle. So hang on. All right, so we've got the chess match, Silent Library chess match, and he gets picked up with an eagle. How does he get from the chess match to the eagle? How does that happen? Or maybe he used his nunchucks, like he gets in a kayak and he uses the nunchucks as oars to go really
It's the most efficient way of moving
like
a
in the
kayak.
water. Do you know what I mean?
Nunchucks.
It is. Ooh, 2 sets.
Yeah.
Really fast. And, okay, he's approaching a waterfall. What catches him as he falls off the waterfall, which is where he's meant to be going. He was in control of that. Eagle takes him off in a completely different direction. And he has to spend the rest of the film getting back to the waterfall.
Yeah, like 90 minutes. It's like him just like in the air for 90 minutes going, come on.
Yeah. You can call me McB and you can be Eamonn Cruz because we have just nailed a franchise movie.
Do you not think that's...
Thank you.
There's something terribly wrong with thinking about films that way? About what are the set pieces, then let's build the story around it.
When it feels like they didn't, I think it works, but...
Like, I think because they've hyped it up so much, that motorbike jump, I was actually pretty underwhelmed when it happened, weirdly.
I wasn't.
I think because I'd seen it all already. Like, I'd seen him do it, like in the promo material they released, where it's like, here's the unedited sequence of him jumping off. It's 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
So actually...
They did show a bit too much, didn't they?
Yeah, so when you watch it in real life, you're like, yeah, okay, well, I've seen all this.
I really enjoyed the airport sequence in this. I thought that would have been, throwing in deep fake stuff and AI glasses. That would have been a bit like, a few years ago. But actually,
yeah, no,
it all feels very feasible
does.
now,
No,
as does the AI.
Like,
the entity was quite a feasible villain.
Yes, it kind of feels a little bit like Age of Ultron, doesn't it?
It does. Again, it kind of makes sense. And it was, I thought, quite creepy when it revealed that what it was really doing is predicting the future. Because by knowing everyone as well as it does, it could actually predict the future. That was unsettling.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Now it's a little bit like devs. I'm now just going to list everything that this feels like it's derivative of. Hunt for Red October, the stealth drive.
I thought you were going to say the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Also, Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as that.
Just like it. Aladdin, Magic Carpet. Don't you dare close your eyes.
Yeah. The entire back catalogue of Leni Riefenstahl, the Nazi propagandist.
Yeah.
Exactly like all of her stuff.
All of you Bowles films.
Also like Skibidi Toilet as well. Had a lot in common with Skibidi Toilet.
Just like it.
I also got really fed up with all the key misdirects. Oh no, I've lost the key. Have you?
I want to learn how to make a key appear like that, though. I want to do that magic.
Well, you'd never be that blasé about something like if you hold literally like the thing that could destroy the rest of the world in it. You wouldn't be like, whoa, here's some close-up magic for you with this thing
like
that could destroy the world.
Like your creepy uncle used to do with a 10p at dinner. It's behind your ear, boy. So, Eamonn, it's time. Your mission.
Yeah.
I missed, is it Sean Harris? I missed his voice in this. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. But anyway, he's dead. Would be to flush this film away like that big choo-choo train is flushed into a quarry at the end of the film. Or to fish it out like that key is fished out of the White Widow's brother's pocket.
Fished out of 1 billion pockets again and again.
A lot of pockets. All the pockets. What would you do?
Tricky. I feel like my opinion's
say
changed
Ricky?
several times. Ricky. That's your name, isn't it?
Ricky.
Thanks for asking, Ricky.
Yeah.
It's been so long I've just forgotten your name. I just thought I'd take it. You look like a Ricky. Yeah, it's sort of changed again and again, Ricky.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think it's good for what it is. But I don't think that means I should fish it out. Because the only reason I fished out that James Bond film is because James Bond died.
Okay.
Every other James Bond film, including the early ones, which are shit, by the way, I would flush. There is no good James Bond film. There's one that's somewhat fine, which is the very last one.
Casino Royale's a great film.
Bullshit.
You are.
Apart from the rope, ball bags, that bit's great. It's just the same film again and again, and that's what Mission Impossible is. It's the same film again and again, and with him. And if they basically just, instead of just making a film, if they said, Tom Cruise we're going to fire him out of a cannon into a volcano. I'm not going to make a film about it, but if you pay like $10 on like HBO box office, you can watch it, live stream it. Fine, I would do that. I'd be like, hell, he's really blasted inside a volcano. Amazing.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't have to watch like 2 hours of like mediocre storytelling just to get to that.
Oh, Eamonn, it did more for you than that. That's not true.
No, it is true. I think, like I said, I think everything post Ving Rhames pep talk was good, but the rest of it, I was just like, oh, come on. And because you just said that, you just went, come on, like that. I'm definitely flushing it now.
You were always going to flush it. Don't pretend it's about old Ricky. All right.
Afraid Ricky, you just sealed the fate of this film.
So you're flushing it away.
Flushing it to spite you. I'm just about to fish it out, actually, but.
No, you won't. Shut up. You made up your mind going in.
No, do you know what? I changed my mind 2 or 3 times during the course of that chat, but it's.
Okay, I don't agree with that. I thought it was a really entertaining film. I wouldn't say it was the best mission, but it was a very short 2.5 hours. It flew by. And I thought it escalated to a very satisfying conclusion. I do feel like, yes, it was saved by that third act, but that was a hell of a third act. That train stuff at the end was just brilliant. I really loved that.
Is that honestly... is that in your top 20 third acts of all action films?
It may well be. I think it was really, really strong.
It may well be. You've never sounded more Plymothian.
It may well be, literally, not being funny.
That is exactly what Jano would say. Actually, mate, it may well be.
So
it doesn't go in because I think it's rubbish.
I'm fishing it out. But of course I was going to fish it out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm like. Yeah. You know what Ricky like.
This is just like. Classic Ricky.
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's going in the tank of glory. I guess it means it's getting flushed, but it's just stupid. It doesn't deserve to be flushed.
Well,
Tom Cruise is doing things that no one else is doing for our entertainment, and I appreciate that. He is a psycho, a tyrant.
Bad filmmaker, awful storyteller.
No, he's not. Top 5. Now, I'm going to try something slightly different because I think we've done Tom Cruise movies before, haven't we?
I think we probably have, yeah.
Great, we've done Tom. So, we are going to try and guess. We're going to come together, Eamon, to defeat AI.
Yes.
Or the internet. We're going to try and guess the top 5 highest grossing Tom Cruise movies. And then we're going to ask the internet.
Okay.
And if we get 3 or more right, then we win. Hooray, mission accomplished. If we get less than 3, then we have to do a forfeit of the internet's choosing.
Okay.
The forfeit that the entity would choose for us.
Yeah, we'll ask ChatGPT what our forfeit should be.
Okay. Oh, God. So, top 5.
So, first one, I think there's one obvious
Top
one.
Gun Maverick. That's huge, isn't it?
I think that's massive.
So, it's probably 4... Our top 5 will be 4 other Mission Impossible movies.
Probably would be.
I'm just trying to think what else he's done. Interview with the Vampire, Magnolia, no. They're not going to do it. The Mummy, no. Jack Reacher? Jack Reach Around?
Jack Reach Around, yeah. Oh, Ricky.
And before the... Alright, so it's basically 4 missions.
Yeah. So it's going to be... I imagine the Fallout will be one of them.
Rogue Nation. Will it be the last 4?
Probably. Yeah, it probably is, isn't it?
4 is...
Ghost Protocol.
That's the one with the Burj Khalifa in it. Ghost Protocol, that's it. Right, so we're going to go with Top Gun Maverick and the last 4 Mission Impossible movies. It's a safe bet. All right. Let's find out.
Okay, let's look it up.
Grossing Tom Cruise movies. I feel like this might have been a bit easy.
Yeah, okay, so...
Well, we're okay.
Top Gun Maverick.
2, Fallout. 3, Ghost Protocol. 4, Rogue Nation. 5, War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Okay, so we got one wrong.
I would say that's maybe my favourite Tom Cruise movie.
War of the Worlds?
War of the Worlds. It has sort of a weak third act, but I think in terms of like one of those alien invasion things, I think it's fantastic.
It's got a pretty epic opening, hasn't it?
Opening is amazing, yeah.
Okay, so we beat the AI.
Yes.
We beat the internet.
Let's ask ChatGPT what our forfeit would have been.
Okay.
What is our forfeit? I'm just going to leave it like that.
You're just going to leave it like that? Okay, go on then.
Okay. It's cracking wise now. We've obviously primed it with all our joke.
Oh, right. It
prompts.
wants to make us laugh.
It says, I didn't realise we were playing a game with a forfeit. How about this? If I can't make you laugh with my next joke, I'll write a 200-word ode to the brilliance of your favourite fruit. If I do make you laugh, you'll have to do a celebratory dance while singing the chorus of your favourite Cheesy's 80s song. Deal?
Okay, deal.
Fine, yeah, deal.
What's the joke?
Great, here's a joke. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything.
Haha, we beat the internet. We beat the AI. You beat the AI. So what does the AI have to do? What's its forfeit?
We didn't laugh.
You're having an actual conversation. You're having an actual conversation with it.
So I said we didn't laugh, dickhead. He says, I apologise if the joke didn't meet your expectations of bring laughter. Humour can be subjective, and it's challenging to gauge individual preferences accurately. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
I like how, because it didn't make us laugh, it's just gone back to being serious again. Well, that didn't work. I'm not going to bother with that.
I know, exactly. Yeah, don't act like a dickhead. Let's see what it says now.
What did you say?
So it says, is there anything else I can help you with? And I said, yeah, don't act like a dickhead. I apologise if my previous response came across as disrespectful. It was not my intention to offend you.
Oh, no, look, Eamonn, I'm genuinely like, every time I speak to AI, I'm very polite because I don't want to be killed by it. So you have to make this right.
Shall I say, let me see what it says.
You've been rude. Apologise to it. Otherwise, I'm stepping away. I'm not getting involved.
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
If I apologise now, will you spare me when the machines take over?
Don't give it ideas.
Of course. I bear no ill will towards you. It's not saying machines won't take over.
Oh, God.
Okay, well, phew.
I think you saved us.
I hope so.
Okay.
I'll just put in, it was Ben's idea.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I see. Well, there's no need to worry about assigning blame. Loads of focus and prosecutions.
Good. Don't stop it.
He
Stop it. I don't find this amusing.
He said a lot worse.
Stop it. Eamonn, you're going to give me nightmares. I don't like it. Anyway, my name's Ricky now.
Said a lot
Tell him Ricky said.
worse. Off the record.
What have you written now?
Oh, I said that you said some pretty hateful things. Good. All right.
I don't like
Should we
this.
wrap it up?
I don't like it. Okay. It's time to wrap up. So, time to thank our Patreons. This week, are they a stunt?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, Mike Foster would be...
He's quite ballsy, so he would be that Buster Keaton sketch where he stands in front of a house and the front falls down on top of him.
He would. You know those steps in John Wick?
Yeah.
Raph would be falling down those steps in John Wick.
Twice. Yeah,
Twice.
like in the film.
My mum?
She'd be Mel Gibson at the beginning of A Lethal Weapon, where that guy's going, I'm going to jump. And he's like, yeah, let's jump together. And he handcuffs himself to that guy and they both jump.
They land a pool?
They land on one of those airbag things.
Right.
They've set one up. I mean, it's kind of...
So she talks you down and then takes you with her.
Then she's like, sod it, yeah.
Okay.
She's tried to talk me into suicide so many times.
My dad, again, he's always practical, isn't he? Very practical man. I know, like juggling hammers or something?
Or the slightly more impressive. So hang on. Someone's like Buster Keaton stunt, and then he's juggling hammers.
Yeah, just juggling hammers, yeah.
What about the corkscrew jump on James Bond in the car? Does like a spin.
Yeah, that's a nice jump. Yeah, he's that. All right, good. I like how you were thinking of actual movies. I was just thinking of things.
Juggling hammers. Do you think that's what Tom Cruise is going to do in the sequel?
I hope so.
Juggling hammers. There's going to be a whole featurette about him juggling hammers.
I gotta juggle these hammers. Yeah.
And not just hey, guess what? Not just 3 hammers. It's 4 hammers.
That's actually, like, you could seriously injure yourself.
You could do yourself
Nice.
it's a slight injury, yeah.
You could pull your hamstring.
Thank you for listening. And oh dear.
Hey, yeah, you can't even do that bit. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, we're on TikTok. We just got on there. There's some videos. Please visit and like us and check us out and subscribe and review and be our friend forever.
Yeah.
And that's it. Eamonn?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to say it was a pleasure to have you back.
And
Sign us out.
keep flushing.